Hi everyone, I am Rahul and I am going to discuss the summary of Long Walk to Freedom from First Flight Class 10th English. Guys, I have uploaded three videos of the first chapter of First Flight and then two poems, Dust of Snow and Fire and Ice. Now we are going to discuss the summary of Long Walk to Freedom, which is also the autobiography of Nelson Mandela. Guys, Nelson Mandela, who was the first Negro president of South Africa, and he was born in 18 July 1918. The first black president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. And guys, it begins with the description of the inaugural ceremony. There was inaugural ceremony, as you know that when he was going to be elected as the first president of South Africa, तो I can say that वो उनका क्या था, वो उनका था ceremony. We can say that swearing ceremony, as we know that when someone is going to be elected as the prime minister or president of any country, so first he has to take the oath. So it was the inaugural ceremony, and he was very happy, and we can say that after all the public of South Africa, they were very happy because it was the end of the apartheid system in South Africa. Guys, it was 10th of May. It was 10th of May 1994, and where the entire nation, along with many international leaders who were invited there in amphitheater of South Africa, and all the international leaders, they embraced. It was the new victory. It was the new victory for South Africans, and it was the fairly elected government. As you all know that when it was the time that there was the discrimination among the people, that some were called they are Negroes, some were called that no, they are the black people, and that's on the basis of the race, on the basis of the color, as they were discriminated there. Guys, that evolved speeches by the president and the two deputy president. They are going to take the swear, they are going to take the oath. So they all come one by one. So two deputy president, and they followed an impressive air show of fighter jets. As you know that when it was the time of swearing ceremony, the fighter jets, they were flying in the sky. We can say that to honor them or for the security of South Africa, or we can say that as they were showing the power of South Africa, and they wanted to show that how people are happy and how the country South Africa is now going to be the clean, the very unite one country in the world. So here, long ago in the first decade of 20th century, we can say, in the 20th century, white supremacy introduced the system of apartheid. Means it was the system of apartheid, and that made the life of South Africans hell. And it was, you know, that the dark skilled population, those who were staying in South Africa, those who were living in South Africa, they are really discriminated, and the life of those people, it had become hell. It gave rise to one of the most inhuman societies of the world. Means the way they were discriminated, which was showing that how they were inhuman societies of the world. And many people, same like as in our country, when there was the rule of British in our country, and many of the people, they became martyrs, they contributed for the country, they sacrificed their lives for the country. And same it was there in South Africa also, that many of the people, many of the leaders, they sacrificed their lives for basic human rights. Here the author also expressed his desire to thank all those freedom fighters, yeah, all those freedom fighters who couldn't live to see the Atman Day. It was the Atman Day, as and he was thanking all those leaders. He was thanking, and he was showing his gratitude to all those people who sacrificed their life for the country to get the new morning for the country, to get the new morning for South Africa. Here I can say the author expressed his desire. The author expressed his desire to thank all those people of the country, and it is these people he gathered his courage from. And guys, when it was the time to what you call that, it was the time to take the oath, and all those people who were gathered, even the international leaders, and even the public of South Africa, they were gathered there. And there we can say that Nelson Mandela, during the time of his swear, he was thanking all those guys and all those people, those who contributed for the country. And Nelson Mandela, he believes that courageous is not the man who is fearless. Courageous is not the man who is fearless, but the man who has overcome fear. मतलब यहाँ पे वो ये कहना चाहते हैं कि साहस कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, या जो लोग फियरलेस होते हैं वो कॉरेजियस नहीं होते हैं। कॉरेजियस तो वो लोग होते हैं जो डर को भी ओवरकम करते हैं, जो डर के ऊपर भी अपनी विक्ट्री प्राप्त करते हैं, विजय प्राप्त करते हैं। Those people are courageous, and they are the people who do something for the country. And he also mentioned two responsibilities here of every human. Nelson Mandela, during his speech, he, after thanking all those leaders who sacrificed for the country, he also thanked all those international leaders. He also thanked the public who were gathered in the amphitheater of South Africa, which was in Pretoria. And after that, he announced that, he explained that every person has two responsibilities, and human has how, in order to fulfill his obligation towards the society, and his obligation towards his family was neglected. So when we take birth in the country, when we take birth in any society, we have our obligation for the society, we have our obligation for the country. हमारा कुछ फर्ज होता है, और हम जब भी कहीं सोसाइटी में और कहीं देश में कहीं पे जब जन्म लेते हैं, तो उस सोसाइटी के लिए, उस देश के लिए हमारा एक कर्तव्य होता है। एंड वही कर्तव्य की बात, वही ऑब्लिगेशन की बात हियर द नेल्सन मंडेला इज टॉकिंग. And he became a man of people when he realized that the idea of freedom was an illusion for him and people like him. Idea of freedom was an illusion of him. When he was in his student life, that time when he was in college, the way he was discriminated and the way he felt that all those things, they were not going in easy way. That time the idea of freedom, that was just the illusion for him. He was thinking that it is just an illusion, we cannot get the freedom because the power of white people, the power of white skinned people in South Africa, it was in such a way that which was looking like the you can say that they are not going to get victory, or they are not going to win over the matter. So it was then he joined the African National Congress. After that, when he was studying in college, he joined the African National Congress and fought for his rights till he became the first black president of the nation. Means whole life before being the president of South Africa, he did what? He joined the African National Congress. Means he started his political career by joining the African National Congress and then fought for his rights. He fought for the rights of those black skinned people, those Negro people who were living in South Africa. And then he became the first president of the nation. Finally, he talks that the oppressor is as much as a prisoner as the oppressed. Those people who are oppressing the people, those who are dictatorians, those who are suppressing the people, they are as much a prisoner as the oppressed. And again he says that oppressor too there and he is not free. Oppressor too there and he is not free. Means those people who are the oppressor and oppressed already oppressed, but oppressor also is not free. So guys, it was the summary of the chapter Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. Some question I want to discuss with my children. First question is that where did the ceremonies take place? Where did the ceremonies take place? So it was the ceremonies, it took place in an amphitheater. It took place in amphitheater which was formed by Union Buildings in Pretoria. Which was formed by Union Buildings in Pretoria. Another question is, can you name any public buildings in India? Of course, it is what do you call that? Some of which are Rashtrapati Bhavan, Red Fort, and Supreme Court of India, which is in New Delhi. Yeah, so all these are there. Another question is that, can you share how 10th May is an Atman Day in South Africa? Since South Africa lies in the southern hemisphere, as you know that southern hemisphere, South Africa lies there, and we can say that May falls in the Atman season in South Africa. Okay. The next question we have. Next question is that at the beginning of his speech, Mandela mentions an extraordinary human disaster. What does he mean by this? Means, what does Mandela means by an extraordinary human disaster? So we can say, by an extraordinary human disaster, Mandela is referring to the apartheid system that was prevalent in South Africa under the previous leadership, and people of color were treated unfairly, and no human being deserves that. The way we know that those black skinned people who were staying in South Africa, they were badly treated by white skinned people. They are badly discriminated by those people. And he stood against the unjust practices which were going there, and he won the democratic elections to become the first black president of South Africa. Next question I want to discuss that, what does Mandela thank the leaders for? What does Mandela thank the leaders for? So it's very easy question, as after reading the chapter we can give the answer very easily, that the author thanked the international leaders for joining and supporting all those South Africans in their victory of freedom. South Africans, after getting the victory, it was just the civil fight, it was civil war in the country, and when there was the victory over white skinned people, and those unjust practices, bad practices, evils, bad evils, and he thanked those people for supporting them, for joining that swearing ceremony. Okay, so guys, I think you are understanding it clearly, and to understand it nicely, once you read the chapter very nicely, and then you will understand all those things. So another question I want to discuss, that what does courage mean to Mandela? As in the chapter, almost in the middle side of the chapter, he discusses that what. So the question is here, what does courage mean to Mandela? मतलब मंडेला के लिए courage क्या था? हमारे लिए courage होता है, मंडेला के लिए courage मतलब क्या था? तो to Mandela, courage does not mean the absence of fear. मंडेला के लिए courage मतलब डर का absence होना ये नहीं था, मतलब जहां डर नहीं हो, दैट इज नॉट द कॉरेज. इंस्टीड ऑफ दैट, फॉर मंडेला, कॉरेज मीन्स विक्ट्री ओवर फियर. विक्ट्री ओवर फियर, इट वॉज द कॉरेज मीन फॉर मंडेला. एंड अ मैन हु इज कॉरेजियस इज वन हु हैज ओवरकम हिज फियर टू फाइट ऑल द थिंग्स. ओके, सो ऑल these questions are there. Another, he discusses the twin obligations. Yeah, twin obligation Mandela mentioned. So what are those twin obligation? Twin here मतलब double, दो obligations हैं. तो एक तो obligation होता है जो कि that is towards his family. When a person born in the society, born in the family, so he has the obligation for the family. And another one is there for the society, for the nation. So first obligation is the obligation towards his family, and the second obligation is obligation for the society and for the nation. So guys, all these things were there, and I hope you understood it very well. Here one word is mentioned by him, that is prejudice. Prejudice means what? So prejudice means a strong dislike without any good reason. Prejudice means a strong dislike without any good reason. Another things are dignity. Dignity means the state or quality of being worthy of honor. Worthy of honor or respect. किसी की dignity होती है, भाई मेरी dignity पे आँच आएगा, लोग कहते हैं, तो that is dignity. And monk you all know that religious community of men typically living under woes of poverty and obedience. Same here is virtuous, having or showing high moral standards. So these are the words for you, and I hope. Same here, obligations means duty. Obligation means duty, commitment. As Mandela mentions in the chapter that two obligations are there. How many? Two obligations are there. First obligation is obligation towards the family, and second obligation is obligation towards the society or the nation. Same here is civil means what? So civil मतलब polite, courteous. Yeah. Same here is secrecy, the action of keeping something secret, that is secrecy. So children, I hope you have understood it nicely, and I am uploading the videos of all the chapters of first flight, and after that first flight I will also upload the chapters of footprints without feet. I will also give you the ideas regarding the writing section, that how to write the good letter, and then story writing and all these things in my coming videos. So subscribe my channel and like my videos. Thank you very much.